7 Civics. Good morning children. Today I am going to discuss the lesson Civics Unit 2 Market and Consumer Protection. Okay? Learning objectives. To identify 4 different types of market structures, to know the differences between each type of market structure, to understand why consumers need protection, to understand the rights of consumers. Okay, let us see one by one. First, market. When we talk about a market, we generally visualize a crowded place with a lot of shops and consumers. Consumers means a consumer is the one who purchases the products for her own need and uses it. A consumer cannot sell the good product or service but can consume it. Okay, that is called consumers. People are buying different types of goods like groceries, clothing, electronics, etc. in the market. So in a traditional sense, a market is where buyers and sellers meet to exchange their goods and services. Who is buyer? A buyer means a person who buys or agrees to buy goods. That is called buyer. Okay? Seller. Seller means a person who sells or agrees to sell goods. The word market refers to a physical place where commodities and services are bought and sold. Market refers to a system of exchange between the buyers and the sellers of a commodity. A setup where 2 or more parties engaged in exchange of goods, services and information is called a market. Okay? Next, let us see futures of market. In economics, the term market refers to the shops for one commodity or a set of commodities. For example, a market for rice, a market for cloth, a market for electronics goods. First future, a market is also not restricted to one physical or geographical location. It covers a general, wide area and the demand and supply forces of the region. There must be a group of buyers and sellers of the commodity to constitute a market. Third one, both the sellers and buyers must have access to knowledge about the market. Fourth, futures. At any given time, only one price can be prevalent in the market. Both buyer and seller know about the market price. Okay? Next, let us see classification of markets. Broadly, there are 2 classifications of markets, the product market and the factor market. Product market means the product market is the marketplace where final goods and services are sold. It does not include trading in raw material or other intermediate materials. Okay, that is called product market. Factor market refers to the market for the buying and selling of factors of production. There are 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital and organization. These are the 4 factors of production. Okay. The other classification of markets are as follows. First one, on the basis of geographical location, market divided into 4 categories: local market, regional market, national market, international market. First, local market arises when products or services are bought and sold in the places of their production. They usually sell perishable goods of daily use. Example, fruits and vegetables. Perishable means the goods spoil within a day. That is called perishable goods. Okay. Regional market arises when products or services are sold and bought in a restricted circle like a district or a cluster of few smaller states. That is called regional market. National market arises when products and services are sold and bought throughout a country. For example, nationwide market for tea, coffee and cement. International market arises when products and services are sold and bought at the world level. Example, petrol and coal. Okay. Next, let us see on the basis of time. Market classified into three categories. Alfred Marshall classifies market on the basis of time. Okay. Very short period, long period, market. Very short period market. This is when the supply of goods is fixed and so it cannot be changed immediately. For example, the market for flowers, vegetable, fruits, etc. Short period market, it occurs when the quantum supplied of a product can be increased. The supply can be slightly adjusted. That is called short period market. Long period market, here the supply can be changed easily by the scaling production. So it can change according to the demand of the market. Next, let us see on the basis of nature of transaction. Spot market and future market. Spot market where spot transaction occur. That is, the money is paid immediately. There is no system of credit. That is called spot market. Okay. Future market. This is where the transaction and credit transactions, there is a promise to pay the consideration sometime in the future. That is called future market. Next one, on the basis of regulation. On the basis of regulation, market classified two types, regulated market and unregulated market. Regulated market means there is some oversight by appropriate government authorities. This is to ensure there are no unfair trade practice in the market. Such markets may refer to the product or even a group of products. For example, the stock market is a highly regulated market. Unregulated market, this is an absolutely free market. There is no oversight or regulation. The market forces decide everything. Example, real estate business. Okay. Next, let us see on the basis of competition. The types of market structure, perfectly competitive market and imperfectly competitive market. Perfect competition market is a purely imaginary market. Okay. Example, salt. Large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous product, uniform price. These are the characteristics, features of perfect competition. But the imperfect competition comprises four types: monopoly, monopolistic, oligopoly, duopoly. Okay. First, let us see monopoly. Monopoly means a market structure in which there is a single producer or seller that has control on the entire market. This single seller deals in the products that have no close substitutes. Example, Indian Railways. Monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition was given by Professor Edward H. Chamberlain in his book Theory of Monopolistic Competition. The term monopolistic competition refers to a market situation in which there are a large number of buyers and sellers of products. Example, toothpaste. Oligopoly. The term oligopoly has been derived from the two Greek words. Oligo means few and poly means seller. Therefore, oligopoly refers to a market form in which there are few sellers dealing either in homogeneous or differentiated products. Homogeneous means same or different products. Okay. Next, let us see who is a consumer. A consumer is the one who purchases the products for her own need or uses it. A consumer cannot resell the good, product or service, but can consume it to earn her livelihood and self-employment. That is called consumer. The consideration may be paid, promised, or partly paid or partly promised. A consumer is a person who purchases a product or service for a consideration, either for his personal use or to earn his livelihood by means of self-employment. That is called consumer. Who is not a consumer? A person is not a consumer if she or he purchase any goods or service free of charge. Purchase of goods or service for commercial purpose. Purchase goods or service under contract of service. Next, let us see unfair trade practice. Any unfair trade practice means any practice that permits the hoarding and destruction of goods or refusal to sell the goods with an intention to raise the cost of those or other similar goods or services shall be an unfair trade practice. Trade practice which for the purpose of promoting any sale, use or supply of any goods or services adopt unfair methods. Some of these practices include false representation when goods and services are not of stated standard quality or grade, when second-hand renovated goods are sold as new ones, when goods and services do not have the claimed usefulness or benefit, when product services do not have the claimed warranty or guarantee, when the price of product or service is misleading, false and misleading advertisements, offering gifts, prices, etc., hoardings or destroying goods with the intention of raising the cost of these or similar goods. Next, let us see consumer protection. Consumer protection is a group of laws enacted to protect the rights of consumers, fair trade, competition, and accurate information in the marketplace. Consumer protection laws are a form of government regulations that aim to protect the rights of consumers. For example, a government may require business to disclose detailed information about products, particularly in areas where safety or public health is an issue, like food. Consumer protection is linked to the ideas of consumer rights and to the information of consumer organizations, which helps consumers make better choices in the marketplace and help with consumer complaints. Example, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. The 8 basic consumer rights are the right to basic needs, the right to safety, the right to information, the right to choose, the right to representation, the right to redress, that means compensate, the right to consumer education, the right to healthy environment. These are the 8 basic consumer rights. The Consumer Protection Act 1986. This act enacted in 1986 in the Parliament of India to protect the interest of consumers. The act was passed in Assembly in October 1986 and came into force on December 24, 1986. COBRA is regarded as the Magna Carta in the field of consumer protection for checking unfair trade practices, defects in goods. As far as India is concerned. Consumer Dispute Redressal Agencies. National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission established by the central government. State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, also known as the State Commission, established by the state government in the state. District Consumer Disputes Redressal Forum, also known as the District Forum, established by the state government in each district of the state. Consumer Protection Act 2019 passed the landmark Consumer Protection Bill 2019, which aims to provide the timely and effective administration and settlement of consumer disputes in this digital age. Highlights of the new act: e-commerce transactions, e-filing of complaints, establishment of Central Consumer Protection Authority, unfair trade practices, penalties for misleading advertisement. These are the important highlights of Consumer Protection Act of 2019. Okay. Next, let us see consumer courts in India. National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. A national level court works for the whole country and deals compensation claimed exceeds rupees 1 crore. The National Commission is the apex body of consumer courts. It's also highest court. State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. A state level court works at the state level with cases where compensation claimed is above 20 lakhs. District Consumer Disputes Redressal Forum. A district level court works at the district level with cases where the compensation claimed is up to 20 lakhs. Up to 20 lakhs. Important acts: the Consumer Protection Act 1986, the Legal Metrology Act 2009, the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986, the Essential Commodities Act 1955, the Prevention of Black Marketing and Maintenance of Supplies of Essential Commodities Act 1980. These are the important acts. Okay children, go through the textbook, learn well. Thank you.